Oh, hey,
And we're live.
No!
Wasn't quite ready, but that's okay.
We're never ready. We are never ready. But yet, we're always ready. So, anyways, welcome to another episode of Northwest Brewmeisters. We're just a couple of guys who like beer.
I think you should too.
All right.
You always forget the part about in the Pacific Northwest. That was the original slogan. A couple of guys in the Pacific Northwest who like beer. I think you should too.
Take two.
It's
Welcome
okay.
to another episode of Northwest Brewmeisters. We're a couple of guys in the Pacific Northwest who like beer.
I think you should too. Anyway, I'm just picking on Jamie.
That's all right. I deserve to be picked on. Hey, look what I'm using again. I don't know if you can see it because of the glare, because we still haven't put a curtain behind this window.
Because, God is coming to us right now.
That's right. God is watching this. So, you should be watching too. God is, if this is good enough for, you should feel ashamed. You're not here because, wow.
Right. You ever see those old 80s, early 80s movies called Porky's?
Yes.
They were just so cheeseball, but they were like stupidly funny.
I think I only saw the first one.
The second one, in my opinion, is the best one, which is there's a scene there where like the preacher guy, but he's obviously a fraud, that kind.
Mm-hmm.
But he's trying to, persuade the school to ban something because it goes against their values and all that, whatever.
Right.
And so the receptionist is asking the principal if he has, or telling the principal, hey, Reverend so and so is here. And he said, "Well, does he have an appointment?" And then Reverend just goes, "God always has an appointment." It was just funny the way he said it, though. Your little thing right now just made me think of that. God always has an appointment there, Mr. Principal.
So, hey, we got a new set of rules for Northwest Brewmeisters. Steve doesn't know about them because I just made them up right now.
And I was like, "What? New rule? What's this?"
Things we're not going to do. You ready? Number one, we are not going to boil over our beer. The camera had stopped rolling by the time that happened. That was disastrous.
I got distracted and wasn't watching close enough, and I let it boil over. Yeah. So Jamie tried to salvage it, but it wasn't too bad. But the beer still came out fine. But I had a mess to clean up. So
yes, and now everything is scorched and sugary. And this is not like a Steve special. I've boiled over plenty of my beers. But in any case, we're not going to boil over our beer. We are not going to not swear because let's just be honest with ourselves.
we could try not to swear, but it's gonna slip.
Let's just be honest with ourselves.
We're gonna swear.
That's pretty much it. That is the two not things. I was going to say we're not going to forget anything, but
Right?
Yeah.
It happens.
All right.
So you don't have to worry about your computer anymore. Did you bring your glasses?
I did. They are right here.
Yeah, I just threw that out there. I was like, mine's been working fine the last few brew days. When we get back to your brew in your yard, just use your computer and we'll use mine over here. That way it's one less thing to forget. You know what I mean? Does that make sense?
It makes sense to me. Until we get some sort of actual, if we ever decide to go fancy where we get a camera to look in the pot.
Right.
And literally they could watch a pot boil.
Yeah, that'd be interesting. All right, you get your fire going.
All right, give me that.
All right, so what are we making today?
Right, so I'm gonna make my breakfast ale again because
Tastes like toast and bacon.
not bacon, orange juice, and not toasted orange juice. Toasted. Where did he get toasted orange juice?
I don't know. That was kind of funny though.
He kind of gave me a look. He's like, toasted orange juice? No, not toasted orange juice. Toast and orange juice. And it really does taste like toast and orange juice. You got this cool bready thing with this citrusy finish. It's like, wow, I'm amazed by this beer. And my wife likes it. And so that's always a bonus because she doesn't always drink all my beer, which means I have to drink all my beer. Which means I have to ride my bicycle to work more because I'm getting fat and I can't stop drinking beer. We had this discussion about just maybe stopping eating.
Stop eating, yeah.
That's possible.
Food is getting in the way of beer.
Food is, we don't, if your food gets in the way of things, that's, but.
12 quarts, that's 3 gallons, yeah.
Yes.
Yep, so I must be overfilling these jugs in, so I'm at the mark.
You probably are a little bit. Usually a gallon includes some headspace in there.
Right.
It'll be fine. We're just gonna move you so I can see.
All right. So, did you already go over your
Not yet.
ingredient?
I only have so much brain then.
All right. You got a lot of brain.
Yeah, but it's very linear. It likes to do one thing at a time.
You know, we're designed to do one thing at a time. This multitasking thing is actually not natural.
Right, and multitasking leads to multi-errors.
Multi-errors, yeah.
Is not as, I don't think it's as lighthearted as we often say it. You know, we say it as a half joke. It's like, but the truth is, no, it's true.
You need multitask, man. You're not giving full focus to something. You're probably going to make a mistake, you know?
Yeah.
That's what I hated about, when we were in the military, man. They just, you get berated for not multitasking enough or something. It's like, okay, do you want this thing fixed properly,
Right, yeah.
Or are we going to go do rework again?
Yeah, let's fix it again.
Let's fix it again. You decide to fix 15 of the things at the same time.
Yeah, all right. So I'll tell you what, I want to share this out just in case somebody out there is interested. Occasionally, some guy from Britain shows up and chats with us.
That's true.
Cool. But I'm going to tell everybody what I'm brewing. So I said the breakfast ale. It's kind of in the instruction. So the breakfast ale, I'm brewing it again because it is yummy and it tastes like toast and orange juice, not toasted orange juice. But it does. It has like that toast, that nice bready taste when you're drinking it with this citrusy kick at the end. I was like, wow, this is exactly what I was aiming for. I think that's the best part. It's like, this is exactly what I wanted.
That's what I wanted.
Which none of my other beers have hit that. They've all been delicious and not what I envisioned.
Oh, man, that smoky porter.
Oh, you are so right.
Yeah,
That smoky porter is delicious.
The smoky porter he made, we drank for the first time earlier in the week. And we were having a conversation while, having a beer. And it just kind of dawned on me. I was like, I didn't realize I was drinking a homebrew because it tasted so professional.
Super high praise from this guy because he can taste things in homebrews. He's like, it tastes like a homebrew. I don't have the refined palate. I'm like, it tastes like a beer. There's good beer and there's not quite so good beer. Notice there's no such thing as bad beer because there isn't. No such thing as bad beer.
Yeah, because if it's a beer that's bad, then it's not a beer.
Right. We just classify it as not beer.
Not beer.
That allows us to keep saying we like all beer. All of it.
Like Goza. That is not a beer.
I don't think it is a beer.
It might be labeled a beer, but it's not a beer.
I think
it tastes awful.
It wants to be beer.
At least the ones we
not.
tried.
No, they were horrible. No, I tried like 2 or 3 of them.
Yeah.
There was the margarita one.
Yeah.
And
Dragon
then
fruit one,
strawberry
whatever
whatever it was one. That was no good.
It's awful.
Yeah, they were all not good. So yeah, we don't have to worry about the Goza. Okay, and my phone went to sleep because I had it set at 30 seconds because I don't like recharging my phone. All right. So we're gonna start. We got 4 ounces of honey malt, 4 ounces of caramel 20, 2 ounces of special roast, and 2 ounces of victory. Those last 2 there are kind of what give it that bready, toasty flavor, right? Not roasted, right? Because we're not going for roasted like roasted barley, just toasty, like bready type deal. 6 pounds of DME, Breeze Golden Light, I think. We made that decision yesterday.
I know mine is a Pilsen Light, so.
Well, I don't know what I grabbed the last time.
Yeah.
It was like, so the last time I made this, I just 6 pounds of DME. Okay, had my DME, threw it in there, good. All right.
I'll just make a note of what you did this time.
I did.
If you make it a 3rd time, you can
Yeah,
try the
if
other
it tastes significantly different, it's like, all right, let's go with the Pilsen.
Yeah.
It'll be either the Golden or the Pilsen. It won't be any of the others.
Yeah, I think the others have amber and dark stuff.
So 1 ounce of Centennial hops at the 60-minute mark, and then 1 ounce of Citra at the 10 minutes. Kick the Citra in at 10 minutes because I want to actually knock down a lot of the citrusy. I don't want it to be super hoppy at the end, right? We're not making even a pale ale here. We're making a breakfast ale type deal, which, sadly, the other reason I have to make this again is I never got to drink my other breakfast ale for breakfast. And I wanted to do that. So I'm going to do that this time. Just got to find a day off where I can drink an ale for breakfast. I mean, it's hard to drink an ale for breakfast when it's breakfast time and you got to take your kid to work.
Yeah, you got to work. Yeah, take your kid to work.
Or you got to go here, you got to go there. It's like, I would love to have a day off where I just have a day off. which, by the way, is tomorrow. Tomorrow's awesome, man. I have a complete day off. I mean, Memorial Day aside, there's always, on my days off, there's always something. You know, I got to take this boy to his job. I got to take that boy to his job. Yada, 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 yada.
You get a true day off.
Yeah, true day, nothing. And so I'm going to grab both those boys who I haul all around, and I'm going to give them shovels, and they're going to dig a hole.
You're going to work.
That's right. We're going to work
here.
It's going to be great. Building a goat run. Okay, so sit here at the 10 minutes, and then it's your standard procedure. Steep this at 155 or so for about half an hour. Get it up to boiling. Add the fermentables, which is just two big packs of dry malt extract, and then go to town.
All right.
Standard stuff. All right, and then while you tell them about your beer,
So mine is just a basic pale ale called a Cascade Pale. It's one of our, brew supply. It's one of their recipes. One of our suppliers. Sounds weird to call them a supplier, but
I know. That's I say the same thing.
But this one is going to be a true classic, easy drinking, everyday pale ale, featuring Cascade hops throughout the boil. So it has an original gravity of 1.051, a final gravity of 1.013. ABV is 5%, and IBUs are 43. So for my kit inventory, my steeping grains are a half pound of Crystal 40 and a half pound of carrot pills. So it's not going to be very dark at all. It's probably kind of golden. My extracts are 6.6 pounds of Pilsen Light malt extract. My hops are a total of 3 ounces of Cascade hops. At 60 minutes, we'll go the first ounce. At 15 minutes, let me double check myself. At 15 minutes, I'll add 1 more ounce, and then at flame out, the last ounce of Cascade hops. And standard procedure: rapidly cool it, get it in the carboy. Actually, I'm not even gonna take a hygrometer reading. I don't care in this case. And get the yeast in there. Which my yeast is the Y yeast 1056, which I think is just called American Lager, or excuse me, American Ale, not lager. Just American Ale is what it's called. I believe yours is the American Ale 2 pack. So
it is. As a matter of fact, it is.
And that's it. And then I'll ferment it for about 2 weeks in primary, about 2 weeks in secondary. I'll cold crash it and carbonate it. So hopefully we're drinking this beer in about 5 weeks.
Sweet. So that's our beers.
Yeah.
Okay, I shared it with all the peoples. All the peoples.
All the peoples.
They're going to come flooding in any minute here. Telling you. I'm going to watch the live chat. See, we have one. Oh, wait, that's us.
They're like, oh, we have a viewer. Oh, wait.
That's us. They will be here soon. That's right.
If you broadcast it, they will come.
That's right. So I was looking at this. There's this thing called Restream. Restream. R-E-S-T-R. And they are similar to. They're similar to Haps with the whole.
Kind of like
the multi-streaming thing, except I think their model won't be as heavy-handed as Haps. They won't change things trying to stay relevant because they don't have a platform, right? They're not a social site at all. So they have kind of a loss leader level, because that's what your freebies are. They're loss leaders, right?
Right.
So they got the loss leader level where you can stream to 2 different sites at the same time, right? I don't know if it supports in chat at the loss leader level. So like if people chat, so with Haps, if someone posted something on YouTube, it would show up in the Haps thing. And if someone posted something on Twitter, it would show up in the Haps thing. It would grab them all and it would put on your thing. And I know Restream does that, but I'm not sure if they do it at the beginner level, which is free.
Right.
And then the next one's like, I don't know, $100 a year, I think, maybe a little more. It was something like that. Anyways, that has like 5 or 10 sites you can send it to. But I think, and there's more of them. There's Streamlabs and some other ones, but there's several different multi-streaming sites. They're all based around paying just for multicast.
Right.
Right. So they They don't have us like Haps had this social platform that they were trying to push, kind of like Periscope, right? Well, you didn't do much Periscope. So Periscope has a social networking platform that goes with it. I mean, it's gone now because Twitter killed it. I don't know why Twitter has this tendency to kill good things, but it does.
So does Google. But anyway.
I mean, well, Google screws things up. Twitter just kills them. Like there's this thing called Vine.
Google had quite a few services that were good stuff that they killed. So, but anyway, Vine, you said?
Yeah, Vine. It was like these little. They were short. They were like 8-second videos, but I mean, they were super short videos. But tell you what, some of those people that were on there were just incredibly creative. I mean, what these folks would do in 8 seconds was just great. I mean, there was a lot of stupid stuff, you know.
Oh, no doubt.
But there was some cats that just like, that was amazing for 8 seconds. You told a whole story. You told a whole story in 8 seconds. How did you do that? You know, that's one of the problems with TikTok a lot right now, is it, or like, you know, like a lot of the, I follow that Dust channel, which I really enjoy. I enjoy that channel. But one of the problems with a lot of the videos is like, all right, so you got some special effects, you got a soundtrack, but you didn't tell a story.
Right.
You know, you just had a lot of tense moments that weren't tense because there was no story. They weren't
like, I didn't know what was going on.
Yeah, so I didn't care. I didn't care if this character lived or died. I mean, they didn't exist. They weren't even. Yeah, you know, it's just. And some of them actually with the worst special effects. Like they don't have good special effects because they don't have money for special effects, but they still tell a good story. You know. And some have some great special effects, and they don't tell a story at all. It's like, look, I realize you're trying to do this whole leave it up to the viewer to interpret things, but you got to give them something.
A bar, man. Yeah.
Yeah, you can't be ultra vague. In fact, you can't even be ultra vague. You can only be vague. In fact, to be honest, you should only be kind of vague.
I mean, let the viewer fill in some blanks, but at least give them a structure, you know?
Mm-hmm.
That's why I would do it, but I don't have the resources to make
It's like a D&D game.
those videos. Like a D&D, yeah, true.
Yeah, mm-hmm. Cheap.
Yeah, a good game master will provide a lattice.
Yeah, he's got to
Fill in
provide
some
at least
story,
something for the people to,
Right.
you know, it's like you're in an area. What do we see? An area. Oh. Is there going to be a lot of weed at this session? Because I think we're going to need it. All right. We're up around 135 or so. And climbing.
It's getting there. I'm at 58.
Now we know the temperature of the water out of your tap.
Yeah, I racked that resurrection the other day. That
Nice.
carboy was a mess. Even straining, it still had like 2.5 inches of sludge at the bottom.
Mm-hmm.
And then where it bubbled up, the whole top of the carboy was just foam. There
Yeah.
was so much foam in there. Made me think I should have let it set another week.
What happened?
No,
It was the same thing.
Just had a violent reaction with the yeast, you know.
Like warrior yeast. You put
Yeah.
warrior yeast in it.
It didn't make a big old mess. It just I noticed that it oozed its way into the water lock. I looked over and it was yellow. I'm like, that shouldn't be yellow, you know. I'm gonna swap it out for a new one, but I was just laughing. I was like, when I opened, looked inside, I was like, oh crap! I think it definitely had a lot of the yeast was working hard, you know.
You are sure you put it in a primary, right?
Yeah. It was a 6.5. That's why I use a 6.5 gallons. So you have that headroom, you know.
Yep.
It didn't come out and spew everywhere. It just came into just enough went into the water lock.
I had that happen to me once, and it was because I put it in a secondary, which is a smaller. Well, as you know, it's a smaller bottle.
Right.
My leg is getting kind of warm. Like, I need to move.
Moved after that.
It's called moving.
the heck, man?
I've been talking and entertaining the world while you've been drinking beer. Yes, that's it.
That's how it works, man.
So now you talk about something. I'll drink beer.
Everything to talk about.
There's always something to talk about. Oh, we're at 142. I should probably back this up. Screaming right past 150, 160, 180.
Yeah, right. So yeah, I think what I might do, since one of the beers I did a few brew days ago, was a lager, which I don't remember the full name of it. And I've learned today, or not learned today, but I've just kind of realized that I don't think I'm going to do lagers anymore, just because to do the lagering process, you need cold temperatures, which I can do that, but I think if I do them again, I'm going to have to just put them in a keg and do it, because I have it in the carboy. My carboy is in my deep freezer. But the problem is that difference in temperature and the air pressure, it sucks the water from the water lock into the carboy, so it's diluting the beer in there. And every time I go top it off, it just, like right in front of my eyes, it just sucks it right in. I'm just like, wow, you're not supposed to do that. Now the way to get around that is take the, don't do the classic water lock with the floater in it. Put a tube on it and run it into like a bucket of water. But
then it's gonna suck the bucket out of the water.
I don't know how much the bucket's gonna suck through, or if I'm supposed to keep the bucket outside. I don't know, man. It's really like a pain in the butt. I've reached a point now where I don't think I want a lager anymore. Unless I just put it in a keg and lager it in a keg, which means the keg will sit there for a month or two before I actually carbonate it.
Yeah.
So.
Well, I mean,
I might just do that from now on.
I think you could just put the stopper in it.
You think so?
You might want to put a ring in that stopper.
Well, I have solid stoppers.
I'm just talking about when it's time to take it out. But the other thing you could do is let it warm up. And then it'll increase the pressure inside there, which will allow the stopper to come out easier.
Right.
Yeah, I think that would work, because the whole purpose of the water lock is to prevent air from getting in there, right? When
it lets gases escape and prevents air from getting in.
Right.
So you don't want any oxygen.
And when you're at the cold crashing stage of things, hold on.
I'm gonna go throw this in the solution so it starts sanitizing.
All right.
Then I'm gonna swap it out. That's a good idea.
Works for me. We have hit temperature. Oops, 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 oops. And we begin.
Okay.
All right.
You get your timer going now?
Yeah, timer's going. I'm sitting at 158. It's trying to go up. I need a little camera down here so I can see the flame. Yeah, right. We're still. Could just open the garage. That changes the temperature and everything quick.
True.
You ever notice that? Like you'll have your boil going. That's one of the reasons that you boiled over. Is because we opened the garage door, it changed the temperature everywhere.
Right.
Your boil went away. You gave it a little bump, then your boil came back with a vengeance. We're just gonna go ahead and kill it, I guess, because I'm at 160. We'll relight it again.
As needed. Yep.
And when it drops. I'm at 160 and still going up with no flame, so we might. Did we tell them what we're drinking? I'm sure we did. No?
I think we mentioned it.
We're drinking beer.
Drinking Cascadian Dark.
Oh yes, the black IPA.
Black IPA.
This is the second. Wow, this has made it in
This
2
is it?
episodes. 2 episodes, although we did kill it. There's nothing left. No more black IPA.
That's right. I still have a mostly full keg of spring IPA. I'm not doing that. I'm gonna have to take it to temperature first. So I'm doing a little differently this time.
Okay. Okay.
I want to see if I notice a difference in the beer because I think it makes the beers darker when we cold steep like that.
Do you?
I do. And not that it matters, really, but I just think it makes it darker. And I want to try it. I want this beer to be a little bit lighter in color. To be honest with you, so I'm not gonna cold steep it.
We should look that up. Stretch. So many devices. So many devices.
All right, I'm about 65 degrees.
Nice.
Oh, it just jumped.
Uh-oh. In case you were wondering, soldar in Spanish is to solder, and also to weld.
Huh.
I knew you were interested in that.
Okay.
You know, Gabriel came down the other day, and he was trying to explain to me that he was just going to fix an exhaust system by just welding a pipe right over it. He's just like, I'm going to cut this, I'm going to slide it around, and weld it. But of course, he said that all in Spanish, so it was a little more difficult. The conversation took a lot longer than that, by the way.
He was using the word solder, right? And you're thinking, that's not going to work.
Yeah, so I had to look it up. I have to look up a lot of things when I talk to him. What were we just looking up? Oh,
I don't know. You said, you didn't really say what you were doing.
I am.
Oh, you're going to look up if it darkens the beer kind of thing.
Right.
Really.
That's exactly what I'm going to do. Plus. Does cold steeping make
Come on, when you can do it.
darker beer? Question mark. Go. Does cold steeping dark grains improve your beer? Cold steeping, getting the most out of dark grains. Cold steeping, brewing with dark roasted grains. Cold steeping dark grains. Cold steep dark grains, brewing with dark grains. Steep dark grains. Cold steeping malt can elevate. Wait, no. I am not going to throw this across the room.
I just had to take the word dark and just be cold.
Three
cold
ways.
steeping.
Here we go. 3 ways to prevent darkening beer when brewing with extract. Let's try that. MrBeer.com.
Mr. Beer.
Mr. Beer.
Wonder if they're related to Mr. Coffee.
Maybe. All right. A question we get quite often. Stop with that.
Come on.
Question we get quite often. Yeah. I'm still sitting at 158 degrees.
About 80.
Okay.
Something.
Malt extract, in particular liquid malt, is known to create a darker finished beer because it is a concentrated yada yada. Right. Allows the brewer to skip the time and attention-intensive process of mashing and sparging, since these processes are completed to create extract. Wort, yes, all that. Number 1, do not caramelize partially dissolved malt extract. As you pour your LME into the hot water, it does not dissolve evenly or instantly. It instead needs to be stirred to combine with the water. Small caramely blobs can remain even after attentive stirring. If the bottom of your pot is hot, those small blobs can caramelize onto the bottom of the pot.
Yes, we know.
Yes, we know that.
I scrubbed
Okay.
many a pot trying to get all that stuff off of there.
So it says, do a partial mash or steep using dry malt extract. Dry malt undergoes similar processes, but even more water is removed, allowing it to stay fresher and store longer. Brewing with dry malt also provides a lighter finished beer. Okay.
Huh. Okay.
Boiling with LME will cause your beer to be dark. DME does not. Okay. Fresh, properly stored liquid malt is crucial. Yada, yada, yada. It says nothing about the temperature of the steep, which is what we're looking. Let's try a different strain.
I would just put best way to steep grains or steeping grains or something like that. Let's see what it gives us, because putting the word dark in there, it thinks
Right.
you're looking for something dark.
Apparently, you're not as smart as you think you are, Duck Duck Go.
Oh, no doubt. The hair in my beard.
I'll still drink it. I ain't scared.
All right, I'm almost at 100. Whoa. How's your beer?
This one, I'm typing and it's.
No, you're drinking beer.
I know which one. I'm working on it.
Tell you what,
Oh, by the way, I really wanted this beer today.
I'll tell you what, while you're working on that beer, don't chug it, man. I'll drink a partial. How's that sound?
Yeah, man, if you want to keep going, does cold steeping.
Yeah, I don't have to be up in the morning.
Does steeping.
I don't have to drive.
Either. I don't either. Ha
But you have to drive. Not that that's like, cool.
I could walk,
True.
or. No, my wife would just tell me to sleep here. I mean, you're the idiot that got drunk. You can stay there.
I mean, you could sleep there.
I know. But I do want to get up.
with the comfort of your own bed. I get that.
More the comfort of getting up at like 6 or 7 and getting my kids working. I got a lot of stuff to do. I want to get it. I got a 4-day weekend, man. You don't get that very often.
Yeah, and you want to work all the weekend. So taking the time off and relaxing. But I'm messing with you because you want to get that run done.
Yeah, I just need to get some things done. Steeping grains.
All right, finally broke 100.
See, I've already read this one.
Oh.
I mean, it's not a bad article. It talks about some important things. Steep grains enhance flavor and color of homebrew. Award-winning extracts all use some kind of steep grains. They add body, color, fresh flavor. Basic process. Steeping grains are remarkably simple. You throw them in a bag,
Right.
like we've done here. Man, my flame has been out the whole time, and I'm still above 150. Well, I think so. Yep. Still above 150.
Oh, it's good. You're saving gas.
Yeah. Grain bag will float. If you leave it too long or steep above 170, you'll extract excess tannins. Maybe tannins are what we're tasting in the local guy's beer.
That could be
it. Because does this sound right? Dry, astringent flavor. Does that sound like a good descriptor?
Like dry.
Well, the opposite of wet.
I think it meant not sweet.
Right.
I think is what they mean there, right?
That's usually what dry means. A dry wine or a dry beer is not sweet.
Yeah. It's hard to say, man, because I don't know, it's like a chemical afterflow taste is what I catch sometimes, especially from, the local beer here in town.
Yeah.
The one place we went to, it didn't seem as strong to me yesterday when we were there.
It was strong for me. It was stronger in the brown ale than it was in the
porter.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that English pub ale style I had, I didn't taste anything like that in there. It was very light, almost tasteless, man.
Really?
Yeah.
That's not good. Kind of like that classic lager from Aslan Brewery.
Yeah.
That was such a disappointment.
It had a little bit of flavor, but it wasn't like a strong mouthfeel at all. It was just like, this doesn't taste like much, But then again, it was English pub ale, so it's not strong, It's like a 5%er.
Right.
It's not meant to be a heavy beer. It was probably, if what I had is genuine to that style of beer, like it was in the early days of beer,
Yeah.
it was inexpensive to make. That's why it was lighter, because it was
Right, sure.
cheaper.
It was a cheap beer. Okay, I need to turn the flame back on. I'll take that. I'll take this. Because I am sitting in.
On the low end now.
Well, we're at 150 now, which is the low end. So.
Get that flame up a little bit.
That part's good. Just enough to keep it warm. So anyways, we'll have to find out. Who knows? Who knows?
It's like just ask our guys,
Well, the fun thing.
I mean, I'm using all liquid malt this time, so it's gonna be dark because of that, I'm sure.
Yeah, well,
Like the article said.
the way to do it is you gotta brew a batch of beer and then do everything identical except for one thing. You know, that's the real way you find out. But as you've mentioned, you know, we don't have enough time in our life to do that.
No. Like there's things that need to be done. I don't have time to change one little thing and then record it. You know, now if beer was ready in 3 days, it'd be different. But
Right.
The fact that it takes weeks for it to be ready,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, I don't have time for that. I should have been doing that when I was 12. Making beer, you know.
I personally think that's right. Of course, you know me. I'm on the extreme end of things when it comes to beer and ages.
What, you're 7? Okay, have a beer.
Shut up and drink your beer. They make fun of me. Look, you're in the 2nd grade. Drink your beer and get off to school.
That's funny.
You know, the problem with our drinking age is it is so arbitrary. It's like 21. What's at 21? Nothing. There is.
What's at 18?
Yeah, I mean, yeah, 18. You're right. I mean,
That's
really.
the threshold to adulthood, you know.
Yep.
So what? Why?
Well-
Why that age? You know.
Not if you're Jewish.
What is it if you're Jewish?
Isn't it 13? The whole bar mitzvah. Today I am a man.
Oh, I thought it was 16.
Maybe.
Maybe it's 13. I don't know.
I don't know anything about true Jewishness, you know. But the point is, I mean, different cultures have different ages.
Sure.
You know, in fact, that's like I was talking about. Do you know who Lafayette was?
I know the name.
American Revolution guy, right? So that guy was an officer in the Navy at like the age of 14.
Oh wow.
Right. But here's the thing, though, is that we think about that because we compare our common kids today, right? You know, and even today, an 18-year-old today is much less mature and much less ready to move out into the world than an 18-year-old of 30 years ago.
Right. Well, the attitude's different now, man.
Right. Well, we coddle our children.
So coddle, yeah.
You know, we overprotect them. You know, and so in a general rule, they don't mature as fast because they're not forced to.
Right. Not
You know?
forced to work. You know, back 30, 40 years ago when you were 15, you were out in the fields, man, helping.
Yeah, and we also protect them from consequences that we should not protect them from. Like we should let them burn.
Oh,
You know, there's a lot of things that should happen
But
to
you need
people.
to learn how this feels.
And it's like, you know what a good time to crash and burn and, you know, feel stupid and all that stuff is? At the age of 15. Because you can bounce. Because nobody looks down on you for doing something stupid at
Right.
the age of 15. I mean,
they didn't know.
they'll call what you did stupid and they're going to give you a hard time about it. And you might even get into trouble. But they're not going to think badly about it.
Right.
You make that mistake at age 45, you're branded.
Yeah. Exactly, man. I get it. Exactly what you're saying. And you're
So
not-
anyways, Lafayette, yeah, he was only like, he was like 20, 21 when he was commanding troops and fighting British and just doing amazing things.
Right.
And part of it was because back then you were expected to behave in a certain way at a much younger age. This whole concept of endless childhood didn't exist. You still got flame. Now you got more flame.
Yeah, no, I'm not quite up there yet. Just trying to get it situated. I didn't want to kill it too soon.
Right.
Ooh, excuse me.
How did we get over ages? Oh yes, because I believe 7-year-olds should be drinking their beer responsibly and going to school.
That's what I like about some of the European cultures, man. They weren't so uppity about somebody,
Right.
Under 21 drinking a beer.
But of course, the approach to alcohols is different.
Right, the attitude's different in those cultures.
Mm-hmm.
It's very, very common. Go drink beer.
I mean, I think the attitude towards at least beer here in the United States, I don't know, maybe it's because I'm immersed in beer culture, kind of, or maybe it's just because it feels like beer has become like this cool cultural thing here now. Maybe it's just all over the world. I don't know. It just doesn't seem like such a big deal as it used to be.
Maybe there's some acceptance,
Well, I also think that the beers, a lot more craft and care is going into today's beers.
Right.
I think you've got microbreweries and craft breweries that are not selling out to InBev or Heineken
Big corporate breweries
or
and-
Molson Coors.
Good for them. I hope
You
they
know?
resist the temptation because
Well,
I
there's
hate
a
to
lot.
say it, man. Probably just about anybody can be bought, dude.
Oh yeah, I can be bought. You want to buy this channel? It's for sale.
Right? That's what I'm saying. Money talks, man. And you could be the most staunch, no, I will not sell. But once they hit that right number, man, you're gonna sell, dude.
Wow, man. With that much money, I could build something again.
Right? Exactly. I'll just build a new product.
Yeah. Well, there are entrepreneurs out there that is actually their method.
Right. Build something, sell it. Build something else, sell it. Keep
Yep.
doing this, watch it repeat. Yeah.
Yeah.
Some of them do pretty well, from what I understand.
Yeah.
Especially if it's technology buys and like somebody like a Microsoft or a Google buys them out.
Yeah, it's like, here you go, have it.
Like I still can't get over. I mean, I don't know if "get over" is the right word, but it still just kind of baffles me that Microsoft bought Bethesda Games, man.
Was Bethesda a competitor?
No, they just wrote. They made Skyrim and all those big Elder Scrolls
Yeah,
games.
no, I understand
And now
that.
Microsoft
It's like-
owns them, dude.
it's just, why would Microsoft, were they just Microsoft trying to get
This is
some money?
cornering the market, cornering the game market. Because now, big titles like Elder Scrolls, things like that. They own that title now. They intellectual property, and so now they can
You
dangle
want to
that.
play it, you got to have a Microsoft.
They can
machine.
dangle that in front of Sony and their competitors now. I'm surprised the FTC let that go through. But it was I don't remember the exact figure, but something like $4.6 billion acquisition. It's just like,
Yeah, but by the time Bethesda got bought, man, they were no longer a mom and pop entrepreneurial thing, man.
no, they were a big company.
They were a big company themselves. So that's more like AT&T and Sprint merging, It's,
But they did more than just Elder Scrolls. They did a lot of the Fallout games.
mm-hmm.
That new game coming out this year in November, which interestingly enough is the same release date as Elder Scrolls 5. Starfield, which I'm looking forward to. I hope that's good, man. Comes out in November. But 12 years, 11 years to the date on when it releases is when Skyrim released. Elder
Oh, yeah?
Scrolls 5, yeah.
So wait, Elder Scrolls, Skyrim.
Elder Scrolls is the name of the gaming series. Skyrim is just one part of that.
What else is there?
Well, there's Arena, there's Daggerfall, there's Oblivion, which is the fourth one. There's Morrowind, which is the third one.
What?
Morrowind.
Morrowind?
Yeah, they're all names of like the, I guess, countries, if you will.
Okay. In the world or
In
the
world,
universe.
yeah. Each one is just, Skyrim is a country. Morrowind is a country. Oblivion's not a country. Oblivion is like a plane of existence. It's like pretty much like hell, Daggerfall is just another name for one of the other like nations, I guess you could say. Now the first one, Arena, that one's not a country. They hadn't quite figured out their system yet when the first one came out. So,
but they had to get a game out there.
they got a game out. Yeah, that came out in the early '90s. Original Elder Scrolls. When it all started, man. But back on like just the acquisition, it still kind of blows my mind because Microsoft really gained a big part of the gaming market by owning Bethesda games now.
Mm-hmm.
Because now Microsoft can shut out Sony and be like, nope, you can't have this game. Which I'm hearing they're going to do that with Starfield. Starfield's going to be only on Xbox or PC. A lot of people are concerned that whenever the next Elder Scrolls comes out, which is going to be a huge milestone, that it's going to be the same way, that Sony's not going to be allowed to play it. But Sony has their
I was gonna say
they have their
Sony-
fight too, because they have they're called Sony exclusives or PlayStation exclusives. They don't come on the other platforms either.
Mhm. Well, and Sony can hit back. I mean,
But the problem is Bethesda, man. That was such a big name, especially with the Elder Scrolls games being, not cross-platform, but made for all the platforms. When it was just Bethesda Softworks, their games were playable PC, PlayStation, and Xbox.
right. Because they didn't care. They were selling to everyone.
Yeah, they were just making a product. To
Yeah,
be
they were.
played.
They're like an arms dealer selling to both sides of a war.
But I guess the whole purpose of what I was saying was, I feel like the monetary figure was high enough. They got bought. They're like, yep, okay, 4.6 billion. I can't remember if that's what it was, but 4.6 billion. Yeah, I think we'll let you have it.
Yeah, you got a point there.
And then they also bought, or maybe I confused them with somebody else, a company called Bungie. They're the people that made Destiny originally.
Bungie.
And actually, the original people that made, I think there were people that originally made Halo too, which Halo became huge in the Microsoft world. Halo was not originally a Microsoft product. I think it was Bungie. And then Microsoft
I think it's
bought,
Bungie. It's not Budgie.
Yeah, I think it's Bungie.
Bungie.
Yeah. Microsoft bought Halo, and then I think they own Bungie now. Like they're just like, we're just gonna buy all of you. So now they own Halo. Well, they already owned it, but now they own Destiny.
Mm-hmm.
So unless I'm conflating them with somebody else.
I don't know. Well, you're right though.
So,
If the price tag is there, man.
right. And this is more of a tech nerd thing, but I've talked about the developer platform, or whatever the platform called Linode, where you can run your apps and stuff in the cloud.
Mm-hmm.
Well, they just got bought by Akamai Technologies.
Well, who is that?
Just some big technology firm that's been around for a long time. They own those guys now. So then now what's his nuts is buying Twitter. Musk. How that's going to go? That's how that's going to go. Has it been fully approved yet by the FTC? I mean,
Oh yeah, the deal is legal.
It's legal. Okay.
The problem is just like there's a lot of finagling of final details and some but the deal is legal because he's not.
How much time you got left on yours?
I've got like 6 minutes.
Okay.
Oops. Because he's not merging.
No,
right?
This is a pure I'm buying you.
Right. And so he's got several partners. I don't know if he is going to take it private. That definitely floated out there that he was going to take it private type deal. But yeah, he is going to take it private because he can't just buy it if it's a public company. The only thing he can do is
be majority
shareholder. And so the board of directors, they put in a sneaky rule, like midnight get together. They put in this rule that no person can own more than this without something. Basically, they found a clever administrative way to prevent Elon Musk from really controlling Twitter.
Oh.
And that's why he decided to buy it. Because he's like, okay, we'll tell you what. I'm going to take your offer to be on the board, and I'm going to decline. I don't want that because if I accept a board position, then I can only. That was it.
He's bound by those.
They
rules.
said if you accept a board position, you can only own this percentage of stock.
Right.
Right. Basically, not so much preventing him from being a majority shareholder, but preventing him from buying all the stock, which is kind of what he was aiming at. And so he said, fine, what I'm going to do instead is just buy all of it. So he's like, I don't want to be a board member.
No.
And now I'm going to buy the whole thing, and it's going to go back private, which is fine because the only thing he has to do for you and I, a shareholder, let's say we both own Twitter shares,
Buy our shares, right?
he just has to pay you for your shares. It's like, here's your money. It's like, well, I don't want the money. It's like, well, I don't care. It's like a renter. You chose to rent.
Right.
So when your landlord says, I'm selling this, you don't get a choice. If you don't want to live by other people's rules, you got to buy your own.
Yeah.
No,
I get it.
And that's the way it goes with stock. So, yeah.
Yeah, just to have that much money to be like, yeah, I think I'll buy Twitter.
Well, he had to have partners, but he found some partners, and they were, I think the Babylon Bee was actually one of his partners. They're like, yep, we'll buy in on this. We like this idea. Mm-hmm. There's a couple others. And they were all people that are kind of anti-woke. The whole woke thing is a little bit...
Just ridiculous, I think.
Yeah, well, the whole woke war that we have going on is what I consider ridiculous. It just...
I have almost 20 minutes to it.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go put my liquid malts in hot water.
Good idea.
So
that way they're easier to
handle.
Right. And in just about 1 minute here, I am going to take that out and put the grains in. Or not the grains, but the liquid malt extracts. And then we're going to get it up to a boil. And then we're going to add the hops. And then we're going to sit here and watch and make sure it doesn't boil over, because that is a common problem. 43 seconds. No, I'm not going to count down 43 seconds. We'll sit here patiently and wait. Gonna get sued by Jeopardy. Wait for it. Any second now. Any second now. There it is. And we're done. Go back to that. All right, now you can sit down here. Next thing we can do, pull this out. Then let it drain for a minute. I would like to do that. Untie it. Over here. Put that down in there. I'm actually going to take this out of here for the moment. Oops, 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 oops. Hang this up over here.
Okay.
Fish my pocket knife out.
Here, let me get that beer and or that glass and I'll refill your beer while you're,
Yes, fix this problem while you're doing that.
move on to spring IPA.
So, next beer, because we killed the Cascadian Dark, so now we're going to drink a spring IPA.
Right. Still spring.
It is. It's spring. until June 21st, man.
Yeah.
That's kind of why I'm making that pale ale, because it's going to be a little bit lighter. Hopefully a little bit more crisp, for the summer.
Mm-hmm. I hear you.
I tend to try. I like beers that kind of go with the season. More of a for fun thing, not because it's necessary,
No, I
Just
know.
for
I know
me.
exactly what you're saying.
All right, hey, your beer is behind you on the shelf there.
Thank you for warning me.
I am going to pick up the Zagabooch.
Here, take this.
Excuse me.
Throwing off my groove. Oh, it's a lot of sugar. Okay. And then we stir. It all caked on top and formed a floating island of dry malt extract. It's going to take a lot of stirring. They formed dry malt extract dumplings. They got all clumpy.
Dumplings.
I think it's all dissolving though.
Okay, 11 minutes.
Oh, ways to go. if I'm feeling energetic enough tonight, I'm going to put the Newcastle clone that I made a month ago in the keg.
Ah. What do you see in there?
It's not what I see. It's what I hear.
Oh.
It sounds like it's about to take off into space.
What is that?
I don't know. I've never heard it make that sound before.
Interesting. Interesting sound, man. What is going on here?
So what happened? I don't know. They started out making beer and ended up with jet fuel.
Most amazing thing ever.
It's not supposed to happen at all.
No, we have no boss have even commented yet.
I know. That's all right. It's a video blog that anyone can look at if they want to.
Right. Yeah, I am gonna not wait like I've been doing and like wait till last minute to decide if I'm gonna, do one of my own recipes or just use one of theirs. So next brew day in 2 weeks, I'm gonna go back to my own recipe, which means I'm gonna do my homework like this weekend.
Yeah.
Not wait till the weekend of this coming weekend. I'm gonna go ahead and just get my recipe built and do something. I don't know what I want to do yet, but I'm gonna think about it.
You know what I've
See
done?
where I look around for some inspiration.
You know what I've done with the last couple is I've taken one of my recipes and just tweaked it. I took the Scotch ale and turned it into a porter.
Right.
But
I mean, I got my resurrection ale that's in secondary as of today.
what about that? You've got that bitter that you make. What else you got? You got a few recipes.
Yeah. I'm gonna look and see what I have and look around and see if I want
So
to try
you said
something
my beer
different.
was behind me. What did you? Oh, it's on the shelf. That's probably good. I would have kicked it if you'd have put it on the floor.
Yeah, it's definitely behind you.
Yep. Way high.
I have about 8.5 minutes left on mine. Temperature wise, I'm maintaining just exactly as it should be.
Trying to get mine to boil before
Yeah, right.
you catch up. Because that happened that other time.
Well, I think we'll be okay. So I still got 8 minutes. And then that's just getting my stuff out. I still got to put my shit in there and get it.
And then you've got to get to boil.
Then I've got to get the boil, so I think there's enough time staggering around.
You hear that?
Yeah, it's weird. I don't know what's going on with your kettle, man. I think it's like on getting close or something. I think it's like a build up.
And oh, that would hurt too. That would be so painful. It would be all hat down, hang in.
Well, it's funny, like when it's real foamy like this with the DMEs, you kind of see a little.
Yep.
When it's getting ready, it's like there's something under it,
You gotta be careful because this stuff goes up and over.
Yeah, too quick, man. When your hops go in.
Right at
60.
But the thing is that I watched one guy get his boil under control, particularly with the foam and stuff.
Right.
I was like, that's not such a bad idea. It doesn't have to be instantly, you just start your, no.
That's the only thing that's in there.
There's no Centennial?
No.
Are you sure? That would be really bad.
No, so you mix it in with mine, because mine are Cascade hops.
I got 3 bags, but
Well, yours all came in a bag. How many bags are you supposed to have?
I'm supposed to have 3. 3 of Cascade, which I have. You got the wrong house, man. You gave me Citra.
Is there any other hops in there?
I think there's some German hops in there that I.
No, I mean, is there another bag of hops in there? Because I should have had 2 bags of hops. There's the bittering and the flavoring.
Yeah, I'm not good with the mild ones.
Where'd my bag go?
I already picked it up. Put it out in the recycle bin. There wasn't anything else in there. Last thing that came out was the DME. So,
But I bought 2.
unless it's still at your house.
Why would it be there?
I don't know. Did it not get put in the bag? So,
No, it was all sitting right there on the counter. I wonder if it stayed at my house.
you can call Wendy and have her look in the fridge.
Well, it doesn't matter. I mean, at this point, there's nothing. Yeah, good call.
It's not too late to go get them if they're there, you know. Once you get your stuff going and get your oil going, you can run and get them.
Well, the thing is, they're the first hops. The Centennial are supposed to be the first hops.
Oh, I got you. No, it kind of tripped me out because when I got home, I put everything. I'm gonna check the truck, make sure they're not in the truck, just in case something fell.
Okay.
But I thought it was funny. You only had 1 bag of hops when I put everything in the fridge when I got home that night.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, I thought you would have 2.
They always have 2. Like, I don't know of a single beer that only.
One thing I
has
think
one.
of was that it's still in the fridge at your house. Because remember you put them in the fridge.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna check the truck also.
Oh, bloody brilliant. You can slow down there.
All right, man. We're lucky. They're in the truck. Here you go.
Oh, I just hit send on that.
Say, never mind. Put these back, the keys back.
I knew that I bought everything. That was not nice
Yes,
of
but
me.
you knew that you had that. I thought because when I got home, I put them away. I was like, that's funny. There's only 1 pack of hops. I thought, well, maybe it's because it's a breakfast beer. It's not meant to have that many hops. So I didn't question it. Now that I know your breakfast beer has 2 types of hops in it, you know, because I didn't really pay attention when you was putting together your kit. Yeah, it was up against the armrest, so that's why I didn't see it. You know.
We were about to make a weird beer because I was totally gonna grab that bag of hops in there, and
extra
chuck them
one?
in there.
Right.
It's like, all right, what are we calling this? Mystery stuff. Mystery stuff. Oh. Calm. Shh. It's okay. Stop it. Calm down. Bad worked. Okay. All right. Got yourself together. All right. You all right? Don't get testy with me. Shh, don't disturb the wort. Calming it down. Soothe him.
down.
It's okay. Calm down, little wart. Calm
At
down.
least you caught it before it went over. Right?
Yes. 'Cause this would have been a real sticky mess. I still don't know why LME puts out so much more foam.
I don't know, man. You mean Disney? But I know what you meant.
Yes, I do need to.
It's okay. I know what you meant.
Okay. All right. All right.
It's about to go off here.
7 seconds.
Kill the flame. No, don't repeat.
All right, we are under control. That's a good thing. That's gonna work. And you are sticky.
I'm going to be sticky.
Well, that's just part of this game, man.
Yeah. Nothing we can do about it.
All right, my boil is under control. It's kind of a burbling boil right now. Like it's not roiling, it's not rolling, it's just kind of going bubble, bubble, bubble.
Get in there. Okay. Righto.
All right, and we are timing. Need help or you got it?
Yeah, I got it. There you go. Now it's time for some ladle.
Ladle, ladle, ladle.
Ladling ladle.
That's a great word, ladle. Ladle.
Started. You. And
Sweet. We have achieved textbook.
textbook achieved.
Textbook.
Okay. And real quick, I'm gonna get my fire going before I. Yeah.
Did you just shake off the end of the anal?
I did. I don't know why I did that.
It's just like.
Yeah, like I got it wet or something. Yeah, I don't know why I did that. It's kind of weird. Alright, and you are guilty. I. Sounds weird.
Boom, chicky, boom, boom, chicky, boom, boom. Like Beetlejuice.
Yeah.
Boom, chicky, boom, boom, chicky, boom. Look at it. Do, 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 do. Do, 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 do. Daylight coming, we wanna go.
Very much.
Ah man, my church is choir today. So I'm not actually in the choir just because I'm sorry, it's an hour to my church. And I'm overburdened, as we talked about earlier. Part of that's my fault. It's just like, look, I can't be in the choir, but I wouldn't mind. But I will listen and just give you my opinion on things. I do know a thing or two about singing and choirs.
Right.
And today, the thing I was talking about with the choir director, she's just a very sweet lady, really nice lady, working hard. She only had like 6 people, maybe 9 or 7, like 5 women and 2 men. She's suffering. Dudes don't sing in this country anymore.
You know, they use auto-tune.
And that doesn't work in choir. It is hard to do an auto-tune effect. I think auto-tune is really cool as far as a special effect. I think it's cheating as far as like making your vocals sound like you know how to sing.
Yeah, right.
It's kind of like the Bill and Ted thing at the end. Dude, maybe we should get good.
Yeah, right.
Remember that? I'll be here. This time, however, faithful viewers, true believers, I'm going to put myself in a position where if his starts to go nuts, I can stop it. Boom, chicky, boom, boom, chicky, boom, boom. Because a few episodes ago on Northwest Brewmeisters, I was sitting over there and his started to boil over and I couldn't make it. So I'm going to sit over here. Ooh, kind of comfy in this chair. I might have to take it from him. This is my chair. My chair now. This is my beer. It's my beer now. Of course, I have my beer over there. I could just drink his beer. He probably wouldn't like that. You know, he could say a lot of things except for the fact that we don't delete these videos, and so he could find out what I'm saying right now. But I'm not saying anything about drinking his beer or sitting in his chair, nothing like that. Right?
In that chair.
Because I was just mentioning that last time I was sitting over there and your pot boiled over and I couldn't stop it.
Just got going, so you got time, man. But thank you for looking out, though.
I don't want to take any chances, man. It could be disastrous.
It could be, yeah.
It could be sticky. That's for sure. And mine is just like right where it needs to be. Feeling good there.
So here is
The Whirly Flock dust.
World Flocks. Not all dust. There's a lot of dust, but not all dust. There's some pieces in there. I'm going to do Irish moss in mine, which means I can get my measuring spoon.
Okay. He's got measuring spoons. I just steal my wife's. I'm still going to sit here, though.
Thank you.
I didn't even drink any of your beer.
That's good. That's good. I appreciate that.
I wouldn't.
I know.
Well, maybe I would.
You
I don't know.
did. I would have been none the wiser. Not that I would have cared, you know.
Cooties! Cooties!
Ew. Did I get some bleach on it? Maybe I did. All right, let me see.
You know, it was a lot warmer at my house when I came over here.
Oh.
I mean, I'm not uncomfortable at all. This is fine. But it was warm enough that I was like, I'm not going to wear a hooded sweatshirt. And then I got over here and it was kind of cool.
Yeah, I don't know what's up with that.
It's okay, kiddo. But yeah, we are filming, but you can zip across. You can zip
It's okay.
across.
No one's watching anyway.
Yes, nobody's watching.
Nobody watches. It's okay, kiddo. It's not like our old platform where we actually have people that would watch us and talk to us.
Yeah, YouTube is not as good for the whole live streaming thing.
Every now and then, one of Jamie's friends from England talks to us, but not every time, though.
Yeah.
I was going to move around the humor.
No. Was that? No. My hammer is not for breaking rocks. My hammer is for working on stuff and building things. You can go borrow one of Matt's hammers if you want to hit rocks with it. Okay? My hammer is not a rock hammer, kiddo. My hammer is a building stuff hammer. What? Go. Why don't you go ask Uncle Matt if he can borrow a hammer? He's got bigger hammers than mine. Oh my God. Whatever.
I think. Just be careful that it doesn't bounce.
Let's not do that. You're just gonna hit someone's car.
So is my boil still boiling?
Yeah.
Okay, good.
So I gotta figure out what we want to do. When we want to do this, man.
Well, we want to do what?
The
Oh, you
chiller.
can put that in mine right now.
Let's get another fucking cable. Got a damn copper wire. Alright, I need to chuck these pieces on, which I think we rinsed it off last time.
We try. I think we do mostly. But yeah, you can put it in right now.
Yeah, my hammer is an expensive, not expensive, but it's, made in USA hammer that I don't want to get damaged by hitting rocks with it, you know what I mean?
And now we get a scene of Steve's butt.
Let me go rinse this off first.
Okay, if it makes.
I mean, it's been in the fridge. I mean, been in the bucket, but
I know what you mean.
Smash rock.
I think the break first.
Smash rock.
That might work. Why are you smashing rocks?
So, me and my friend Riley, near the end of the school year, there is a ticket game, and me and Riley were smashing rocks at recess, and then we were told that we're not allowed to, but we already were planning for it. So, Mom said I could.
So what you're saying is you can't smash rocks at school, but you can smash rocks here.
Yeah, because school's school.
Why do you want to pretend you're in prison?
I know.
That's what they do in prison. They break rocks.
Okay, it's fun to break rocks.
Well, okay, I guess. More rock. I'm just giving you a hard time, kiddo. Just be careful, man. You go zinging that rock into your dad's friend's head, and he will not be happy.
all right. So Bailey, I will look into getting you an actual rock hammer. Okay, my hammer is not designed for hitting rocks. Okay, listening. My hammer is designed for hammering nails in the wood. So I will find you a rock hammer. Okay, it's designed for breaking rocks. It's got the right ends on it for that. Because rock hammers are a little different than a claw hammer.
Although if we go to the absolute beginning of this brew session, apparently they're also good for disciplining computers once.
Yeah.
Once.
Bet that computer won't say that again.
Nope.
I've never hit a computer with a hammer.
I've hit a CRT monitor with a hammer.
Oh yeah.
Almost broke my wrist.
Man.
Yeah, they're incredibly hard.
Okay.
Not Riley. That's not Riley. There are some rocks that we find and they are geodes. And some of them very geodes stuff.
You say so.
Put it in there on purpose.
Oh.
So that the water will drain into the bucket instead of all over the floor. Gotcha. The only problem with putting the wort chiller in is you got to reestablish your boil.
Yeah, because it's cold. The wort chiller was cold.
And it's copper, so it sucks heat like you wouldn't believe. And it's got water in it.
I mean, I used hot water on it to hopefully warm it up, but obviously it wasn't enough.
Well, it's not. I mean, hopefully the water's not boiling coming out of your sink. That'd be a little dangerous.
No, not at all. That would be just too weird. Approaching boil soon. Great, my phone wants to update again tonight, but you can wait till I'm done.
My phone gets cranky with me. Gonna update tonight if you plug me in. Next day. Yeah, you know the thing about plugging me in so an update? You didn't do it, you know? I'd update,
Right.
but you didn't plug me in. Not my fault the battery lasts 3 days. Never gotten 4 days out of it. 3 days easy. Okay. That's still a little more aggressive than it was before.
I'm at a point now where I'm gonna be like off and on camera a lot, especially when it's gonna be coming time to rinse equipment, get things staged for the carboys and stuff. Did you take the tablet you needed, or
That's at 15 minutes, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
last 15-minute boils?
No, oh, like, did I take a tablet?
Yeah.
No, I didn't.
I'll just leave it there for you.
You could take those tablets out and just dump the dust in there.
If that's what you want to do.
People that walk dogs that are actually ferocious off their territory, you know, that just doesn't. If your dog will bark like that when it's not in its own yard, You need to
You
consider.
should take it out.
Yeah, maybe that dog just needs to stay home forever. Like, I don't know how much a half tablet is. You know, if you were to crush it into powder form.
Yeah.
But
Come on, man. And I get this thing. Stupid life getting in my way all the time.
life.
Here's the powder. I think there's like a
There's a chunk of a
There's like a-
tablet in there.
like
I
a
see
third
that.
of a tablet in there, along with all that powder.
Yeah, we'll just throw this in here. That'll be fine.
It'd be fine.
It'll be fine. And they say put it in at like the 15-minute mark, right?
15, yeah. Some people say 10. The package says 15. So, whose vlog you're listening to or watching or whatever. Yeah, there it is. There she goes. A little bit more boil aggression than I need.
Carefully, carefully. What was with the shaking head thing?
Oh, I just want to play ball.
She wants to break rocks. Apparently she's about to do something bad, so she's practicing for life on the inside.
It's not. My problem isn't with things she wants to do, it's when she wants to do them. It's like, right now is not the time for that.
Yep, kids' timing is always horrible. But the thing is, it's always horrible. You know,
Right.
I mean, there just really is no, especially, you know, the way we live our lives. It's like we're busy too. And that's that's a cultural thing. You know, that's an American cultural thing. I don't know if it's all of Western civilization. A lot of times when people say, "Oh, it's an American problem," it's like, it's actually a Western civilization problem. That's not just America.
Right.
Although, from what I hear, America, we are the hardest working, hardest playing country out there right now. Some people think that's bad.
Auto-tune.
Yeah, auto-tune. Some things never change, like teenagers believing that everyone wants to listen to their
What they're
song.
listening to, yeah.
Start that boil. Oh, who starts?
Set your timer.
Timer is going.
As long as I have movement, I'll adjust it as needed. I'm not gonna.
That's way aggressive. I am boiling. Yes, you are. Wow.
That is a true boil.
Roiling, not rolling. Roiling.
What was my next topic? I believe it was 10 minutes. Or was it 15? 10. Okay.
Yeah, 15 minutes. 15 minutes, and then when the heat goes off.
All right, my poor friend Julie. So she runs this alternative style school,
Right.
right? So it's right. It's like homeschooling, but our church offers all these parents who are homeschooling their children. They offer them the use of the church building.
Oh, I see.
So there's still
It's
like
like a classroom kind of.
right, except of course your first graders are going to be learning first grade stuff, and your
Right.
fifth graders are going to be learning fifth grade stuff. But you know, it's a very small school because she just started it last year and actually really successful. We'll see how it goes next year, you know, because this was her first year.
Mm-hmm.
We'll see how the parents hung in there, because when it says homeschooling, it's like, this is not, you don't drop your kids here and then you go play. It's like, this
So
is
you
a,
come here and use the facilities.
right, this is a homeschool hybrid. You are responsible for teaching your child. And they do contract a couple people to teach topics that are maybe a little outside your average parent's, you know,
Mhm.
area, you know. So
Sure.
there's certain things that, well, actually the truth is, for the most part, all the way up through high school, your average parent who can read, you know, and I just say average parent, there are some people out there that just can't do it. You know, they can't read well enough, they don't have the patience
Right.
or whatever. They can't homeschool. It's not that they won't, it's not that they're lazy. It's like, this is beyond your ability. You know, they are working so hard to teach their kids that the kids are going backwards because, you know, whatever. But for the most part, you can teach your kid 2 + 2. You can teach your kid 2 × 2. You can teach your kid algebra. You know, particularly if you have a textbook, and assuming you went through and learned all this stuff at some point in your life as well.
Mhm.
You know, you can jump through all these hoops. You can teach your kid dates, right? When did Valley Forge happen?
When did this happen? Yeah.
You know, there's a ton of stuff that you can, because most of high school and then primary school and all that, most of it is rote style learning. Now there's this push to teach kids critical thinking in high school, and I'm not saying that's a bad thing. What I'm saying is that we've been screaming about that, and we have obviously utterly failed to teach that in the initial school grades. And I think part of it is because critical thinking is not as important at the age of 17 as it is at the age of 26.
Right.
You know, I mean, you should still probably introduce the concepts of these things, but
We're not emphasizing so much, maybe.
in high school and stuff, you're still memorizing dates, you're still memorizing formulas, you know, grammatical rules, sentence structure, things like this. These are things that you should be learning at those ages, if you ask me. You know, I mean, there's no problem introducing that, but at a certain, it's just like, it shouldn't be a primary focus. It's like, we don't focus on facts and figures. We focus on critical thinking. It's like, great. So you're going to end up with a kid who questions all authority
Everything. Yeah.
and doesn't know anything. Because that's
like a modern day college student.
Yeah.
I mean, seriously.
But that's what you're going to end up with, right? Because they will have never been taught simple things like this happened at this date. You know, they won't have been taught things like World War I happened because a guy got assassinated who wasn't actually supposed to be the guy. You know, it was like World War I. World War I is a real classic example of how things can go so wrong so quick.
Oh, I know, right?
You know, and why you should never get outraged. I have friends who, when we engage in political, well, one friend in particular who gets quite upset with me because I don't get outraged. You know, I mean, and there is some stuff that is just horrifying stuff. This recent Texas killing, horrifying stuff. And I'm furious. And I'm like, I'm just understanding that this is the way humanity is.
Right.
I mean, come on. Humans used to sacrifice their own children willingly in fires. They would burn their children to death, thinking it would make it rain,
Right.
or appease the gods.
Humans believed, man.
It's like you got one monster popping off rounds with a semi-automatic weapon. That's horrible. But that is nothing compared to a mother who willingly puts her own child into a fire and kills it. I mean, that is nothing. And
Right.
humanity has done this. So,
Oh, I know.
with all that, it's like, I just don't get outraged. You know what outrage gets us? Afghanistan. I like to mention that to this person. It's like, outrage gets us Afghanistan. That's what happens. We get angry, we get pissed off, and we go get ourselves tagged into a country, and then we fight for 20 years. Now,
For nothing.
yeah, well, the problem with Afghanistan, though, is that America, in particular, has forgotten how to win wars. It's like, look, wars are not supposed to be forever things. This is something that we try to win.
Right.
You just don't kill a whole bunch of people and then just say, oh, well, we'll just give it over to these people who couldn't do it in the first place. There's a reason that these people weren't in charge. It's because they were conquered by the bad guys in their country. It's like you don't give it back to them, and that's why I put that there.
Move that back just a little bit.
Yeah, you got to move it. Okay, you got to kind of aim. Where was I going? Outrage. Anger.
Outrage. Afghanistan. Winning wars.
Critical thinking.
Critical thinking. It started with the topic of critical thinking.
Right.
And it evolved into.
Let's go all the way back to what I was saying because it was just kind of a cute story. So she's got this homeschool hybrid,
Right.
is what it's called. My sister's involved in one. It's the same idea. They've got these pods and things, but basically it's parents who are homeschooling their children. They're teaching their children, which is what parents should do. They're teaching their children, but instead of just going it alone in their living room and kind of being an isolated life,
Right.
they're finding facilities and areas where a bunch of them will work, and that allows them to have things, not so much sports teams, but they can do group field trips and take advantage of group rates at museums
Oh, yeah.
or other plaher They can have
And it's all
choirs.
stuff that reinforces the learning, too. That
Right.
They do.
They could have choirs and bands, like this.
Sure.
This one, her school has a choir, not so much a band, as a choir. Now, this one, I mean, she's Orthodox, and there is a heavy Orthodox influence. I meant to ask her today. It's like, do you have to be Orthodox to be in this school? I mean, you have to accept the fact that your child will be taught Orthodox values,
Right.
like Orthodox Christianity, not just Christian values, kind of plain Jane vanilla. No, we're like very specific Eastern Orthodox stuff is going to be taught to your child if you're part of this school. But I don't know if you have to be Orthodox, like a practicing Orthodox, to be part of her school.
Right.
It doesn't matter. Getting back even further beyond the fact that I think this is a really good idea. So the parents have to be involved. They have some tutors for a couple things that are just a little bit beyond parents' purview, or something that they could provide,
Right.
some higher level math and, history. I guess one of them's into history because they just really like history and so they know these things. But today we had a fundraiser, which I hate fundraisers so bad. But we had a fundraiser. So I go downstairs and she's like, can you bring food to the fundraiser? And she asked me this a couple days ago, and I said, I have some leftover fried rabbit. It's not very good.
Rabbit jerky.
Yeah, it wasn't good. I'll try that again.
I know. I had some with you the other night.
Right, and it wasn't very good. You don't got to, I'm saying it wasn't very good.
No, I mean, it was good for drinking beer, But it was cold, I mean, it wasn't like it was fresh out of the fryer,
The only difference between fresh out of the fryer and what you ate was it was hot.
Oh,
That's the only difference.
Gotcha.
I think I overcooked it, which is weird because I baked it first so that I didn't
Oh.
have to worry about cooking. Two problems. Number one, those were old rabbits. They were like almost a year old when I killed them.
Oh,
so they were like old rabbits. Usually you kill rabbits at like 12 weeks. You know, those things were over a year old. So their legs were really thick. So to get hot all the way to the center takes a long time.
So it makes it, the outsides be more crispy.
Yeah.
How you doing on time, dude?
I should be doing pretty good for.
I'm just thinking like your carboy,
Nope,
that kind of stuff.
yeah.
So,
I've got 27 minutes left.
okay.
I'll start moving here in a minute.
So we should probably go ahead and kill the camera here.
But anyways,
soon.
so poor Julie. I went down, and apparently she'd asked someone to put a bunch of casseroles that she made in one vehicle. They put them in the wrong vehicle. She didn't check. She came to church. All this food that was supposed to be for, because we do lunch.
Right.
We do lunch after church every Sunday. And on Sundays where we have a fifth Sunday, right? So when there's 5 Sundays, those are usually fundraiser Sundays. And whoever's doing a thing they need to do a fundraiser for, they can kick in. And there's always a fundraiser. There's always the Project Mexico or the youth camp something, Saint somebody, Saint something, camp Saint, holy Saint. Being a little sarcastic about my church. I really love my church too, so I shouldn't be that sarcastic. Point being, there's always a fundraiser.
Gotcha.
Anyways, but her fundraiser almost fell apart. And I walked downstairs and I'm like, we are here to help. And I grabbed my guys, the boys. I'm like, you go find Julie and you stay right by her and you do whatever she says.
Whatever she needs.
Whatever she needs, you help her. Because she asked about the food, and I'm like, And the thing is, I donate to her school every month. That's part of my budget. It's like, I am giving to your school every month, and now you're asking more. It's like, that is why this is what burns out Christians on their whole fundraiser thing. And it's like, you want to be? Nope, I'm not coming to church that Sunday. Why? There's a fundraiser.
Right.
I give $2,000 a year to your project, and you're just asking for more.
At least you can write that off on your taxes.
You can. Although
that's why a lot of the super rich people, are all philanthropic, so that they can lower that tax bracket, man, by donating enough money. Because they can afford to donate enough money, they can actually get a lower taxable income out of it.
There's a limit to it, though.
Yeah.
And with a lot of the guys, they like to talk about. So, like Elon Musk, he does donations and stuff, and they're like, Elizabeth Warren apparently has this war with him. But it's like, you need to look at his income because he's worth $250 billion. It's all stock.
Right. It's not like he has it in cash,
Yeah, it's not like he got paid that much. It's all stock.
Yeah, it's all non-liquefied stuff, man.
Right. Jeff Bezos reportedly makes $88,000 a year. That is his actual income.
Salary.
Yeah. Which, it's something that's really hard to flesh out because I don't think that because your stock went through the roof and you started the company and the stock was worth $1 a share and you were working your ass off and you had like 10,000 shares because that's how it worked. You didn't get paid anything. You just got shares because that's the only way you could, that's the only way you could compensate yourself and keep things going. And so then the company explodes and now you have whatever, you ended up with 15,000 shares, but they ended up being $1,500 per share. It's like, okay, so he's got a lot of money now, quote unquote. It's all imaginary.
Yeah, right.
But
so it's liquefied. Yeah.
Yeah, and so it's my cousin wants to treat stock like property taxes. And I'm just like, okay, so as long as you get a refund when that stock drops, it's like your stock climbs, so you have to pay taxes on it. Okay, great. My stock dropped $5 a share. Pay up, Uncle Sam.
Where's my refund?
Is it coming back? Anyways. All right, so we are getting up on time to start running around and like waving our hands and getting crazy and swearing and boiling things over and getting excited. So this has been another exciting episode of Northwest Brewmeisters. 2 guys in the Pacific Northwest. Who like to drink beer and
I think you should too.
All right, so we are going to go head off. So hey, relax.
Don't worry.
Have a home brew.
And we gotta go shut the camera off.
Yeah, this is so professional. Bye. Well, we love you all.
You want some more pretzel stuff?
But yeah, I do want some more
Pretzel
pretzels.
substance?
Yes.
Okay.